Hello and welcome to video number 8 in the series, The Top 10 Biggest Marketing Mistakes Made by Small Businesses. And this one is I hear it a lot, is that small businesses think that by broadening their offer as wide as they can, that they're going to get more business, when in actual fact it's the opposite is true. And the more specific and the more niche you can be, the better results you get. So trying to be all things to all people is a big mistake that I see quite a lot. When I meet a new business and small business, and I say, who's your target customer? And they'll say things like, well, anyone really. We can do big, we can do small, we can do broad, we can do long. We can sell no jobs too big, no job too small, and you tell us what you want and we'll do it. And the problem with that is the customer can't. It's more difficult for a customer to connect with that. For a kickoff, you can't be all things to all people unless you've got £1 million marketing budget, which I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you probably don't have. But even then, if you do have £1 million marketing budget, big brands don't do the all things to all people approach either. They segment their market into different sectors. The best thing to do is to try and find a way of narrowing it down if you can. Whether we like it or not, consumers pigeonhole us, and that's the truth. They want to think, you're the expensive one, or you're the funny one, or you're the the local one. It doesn't really matter what it is, but people will pigeonhole us. It doesn't. There's no way of getting around it. But what we can do to control that is decide what pigeonhole we want people to put us into, and then we can work with that. And that's probably by far the greatest thing you can do. The next thing you've got to remember is that not everyone is your customer. Small businesses are terrified of this idea that they might miss somebody if they focus in and narrow the types of people that they go after. They're worried that they're going to miss some great big deal out there. And chances are you're not going to, because the simple fact is that not everyone is your customer. And some people are never going to be your customer, and that's okay. You have to be okay with that. You can't please everybody. It's just not possible. And so the thing to do then is try and focus in on specific market sectors or types of customers. Now, you can always add more later, and you can always market to more than one at any given time. It's just that you just got to make sure that the message that you're pumping out there is as specific as possible. Let me explain. The clearer you are about who you want to target, it means that you can then be very sort of specific about the message that you give them. And it means then that they will start, the recipient of that message will start to think, yeah, that's about me. That fits my needs. And so they're much more likely to choose you than if they just sort of get some kind of, sort of generic, non-specific, nondescript thing. And it's sort of like, well, that means nothing to me. So by identifying target markets and getting under the skin of the people and getting to understand what they want from you makes it much easier for you to give it to them. A famous advertising man called David Ogilvy, who was around in the 1950s, famously sort of said that when you're writing a message for potential customers, you might be writing it for more than one person at a time, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of people at a time. But the person who's reading it should feel that it was written especially for them. And that's really what we're talking about here, is that if you get some clarity on the type of people that you want to connect with, and then make your message fit the people that you want to connect with, then you're much more likely to get the sale. So stop worrying that you'll lose business, because you won't. You'll actually end up getting more. Think of it this way. A lot of my work is copywriting. So then imagine then that I hear that the marketing director of Audi is looking for a new copywriter to write some brochures for a new car that they're launching, and they want to interview 3 copywriters. Copywriter number 1 is very generic, can do anything, can do big, can do small, can write short, can write long, can write funny, can write serious, can write speeches, can write presentations, can write articles, can write white papers. Person number 2 who's quite generic but does specialise a little bit and just does advertising materials. Or copywriter number 3 who's actually worked with 3 other car manufacturers. Who do you think is most likely to get the job? Now, obviously there are exceptions, but I'm pretty sure that you'll agree that the marketing director of Audi is much more likely to choose a copywriter who has some degree of experience in the automotive industry. And that's really what I'm talking about here. It's trying to make your message and your brand fit with a specific type of person, and you find that you get more sales, not less. Right, so in the next video, I'm going to talk about the fact that we spend too much of our focus on getting new customers all the time and not spending enough time on past loyal customers. You know the thing, for new customers only. Right, so we're going to talk about that. Thank you for watching this one. See you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.